Hey friends, my baby boy is 1 month old today, and I decided to get motivated to make this video for you guys now while it's still fresh in my mind before we're months down the road and I can barely remember what we used in the first month. So I gave birth to an almost 9-pound baby. And we started cloth right off the bat. He was in a cloth diaper from the very first diaper he got on him. And as you guys saw in my diaper prepping video, if you saw that, if you didn't, I can leave that linked. I also had on hand some newborn sized disposable diapers. So I'm going to show you guys what we used. I think that all I had prepared in my basket in the last video was these pre-fold diapers, and then these fitted diapers. And I was thinking that I was going to use the pre-folds for daily use and then the fitteds for nighttime. So the first day or two, we were actually able to use just these pre-folds. All these are clothies. This is the newbie size. So it's the thinnest pre-fold. It has the least layers. It's the same dimensions though as their newborn size. Yeah, so I was able to use the newbie pre-folds, and then I used the fitteds for overnight for the first night. But I have very heavy wedding children, and so I quickly needed to use more layers. So then I was putting together the newbie and the newborn and folding them like this to go on him. And that was okay for a little while. I don't remember how long. And then the fitteds were actually not enough layers to be able to get him through the night, and so we went to using the disposable at night, and then I would just use these during the day along with the pre-folds. And I have lost track, but he has grown very quickly. He's a really good eater, and so I really quickly had to go to a bigger size. So I started using the novice size, which is larger. You can see it here in comparison. It's a little longer than the newbie and the newborn. And then because he's such a heavy wetter, I actually had to layer in a newbie in the novice in order for him to not just like soak right through immediately. And then the fitteds, actually he would soak right through. So I found myself changing a lot of cloth diapers. If I was trying to do cloth all day long, I would have to change him literally every 10 minutes when he was awake, and then he couldn't actually fall asleep because he was so frustrated at being in a wet diaper. So I started timing it out, not like literally on a schedule, but just when I could tell that he was going to go down for a nap or needed to go down for a nap, I'd put him in a disposable. And then when he was awake, I would put him in the cloth. But even in those awake stretches, changing him literally every 10 minutes if he's in cloth. And so that got old pretty quickly. And the trick with cloth diapering is that with so many options, you can just add layers in and change up sizes and down sizes and kind of mix and match stuff in order to get the best absorbance and the best fit for your baby. I actually am really privileged to have a lot of cloth diapering options available to me in my home. We're cloth diapering a toddler too, and so we have all the sizes of pre-folds from Clothies, all the way from the very beginning all the way up to the largest size that they make, and we use almost all of them right now. So right now we're using everything that I have available. So we are using, or have used, the newbie and the newborn as layers inside of the novice, but very soon I'm taking him up to the size small because the novice is the right length for him right now, and so I know that the size small would also be good. The size small has more layers in it than the novice does, even though they're the same dimensions. So I'm going to be getting him into the small soon, probably with this load of diaper laundry. And then I'll just use the newborn and the newbie folded up as like a layer inside. I'll show you how I do that. It's just called trifold. So just fold it up like that, and then that's how I have it inside of this novice diaper, and then that just wraps around, and you use a snappy to like keep it together, or pins. And then the small will work the same way with these layered inside. These I can't, he's on the farthest out snaps right now, so he just doesn't fit in those anymore, but I'm definitely going to hold on to them for our next baby because I really liked them, and if I had more money to spend on diapering supplies, I would actually invest in more of these snapless Clothies workhorse fitted diapers, because I really liked them. I liked how they fit. I actually liked the snapless ones a lot better for customizing the fit, and found that it was a faster diaper change too for me using those. But yeah, I would invest in those, a lot more of those for all the other sizes, even up for my toddler. I would use the big sizes of those on him. So those he's grown out of, these he's grown out of, and I will show you, because this wasn't a part of my stash video to begin with, are flats. Okay, so these look different, but they're all the same thing, which is a flat. And it's called a flat because it's literally just one big flat layer that you can fold into a lot of different special folds that work out as a diaper. This one I have just folded as a kite fold, and then these I think are called the Pikmin. I don't remember exactly. But these are a couple different styles. So this is the Dasana muslin flat, and this is the Clothies muslin flat. You can see they're a little bit different, and their dimensions are a little different. The Dasana ones are smaller than the Clothies ones. And then this is the Clothies Bird's Eye flat. And I like both of them. I like the muslin ones the best. But we use all of them. So I just wanted to be able to compare those for you. I'll fold these up into the same kind of fold as I have here. And then I'm going to show you what I do with these, because flats are so versatile, and I would just put in a pre-fold then and use it like that, and then it's absorbent enough for my baby. Same kind of thing here. Yeah, so when I'm using the flats, which they're in the rotation for daily use, along with just the pre-folds folded up the way I showed you. I'm definitely layering in a pre-fold in these. So I think I have 12 to 24 of each size pre-fold, and I believe the way I've been doing it is putting the newbies inside of my green novice pre-folds for enough absorption, and then I've been putting the newborn size pre-folds inside of my flats. I think that's been how I've been doing it, and then that stretches far enough based on what I have available. Oh, and this is their extra large size Clothies muslin flat. They call it a swaddle on the website too. It's a little bit smaller than a traditional swaddle blanket that you'll buy in a store, because it is basically the dimensions that work as a large size flat, like for a toddler. We used these as our receiving blankets when baby boy was born, and then I've used them since as like a rag to soak up leaking milk during feeds, and as a burp cloth for after feeds. Yeah, so we're using flats and pre-folds, everything that I have available right now that fits him, in order to get through like 2 to 3 days between washing diaper laundry. We also have these two-sided wipes from Green Mountain Diapers, which we're really liking for him. They're nice for a small baby bottom. And then let me talk about what covers we've been using. So I have a couple different styles of wool, and I really love using wool. We've used it on my toddler and on my oldest before she was potty trained, and really liked it, and so I've been using it right away for my newborn also. But because of how quickly he's saturating even really layered up cloth diapers, I'm having to change him a lot, and I don't want him to sit and soak, and so these thicker covers, they're inside out right now because I have taken them off in between diaper changes, but this Dasana one and then the Lana Care like super soaker overnight one are thicker, and so they would keep his clothes dry between diaper changes longer, even with a saturated diaper. But I don't want him sitting in a saturated diaper, and he doesn't want to sit in a saturated diaper for a long time. And then those would have to air out in between. So generally I have not even used those. I've been using these smaller ones, this Angle really thin one, and then this Baby Greens snapping one, just to keep my clothes dry if he's in a cloth diaper and I'm feeding him, or to keep his clothes dry, although I have generally just not even been snapping a onesie over or pulling pants up over his covers if he is in a cloth, because he has been soaking through them so fast. So we've actually been using these the most, and these were a kind of spur of the moment thrift investment. Was not planning on using PUL lined covers, but that has been the most fail-proof cover, because of how quickly he's saturating diapers. And again, like, I'll change him, I'll put on this, it's essentially plastic in here, and then this is organic cotton on the outside. So what's touching me when I'm like feeding him or whatever is organic cotton. What is touching the diaper that's on him is plastic to keep it from soaking through the cover. It's not my favorite, but that's been keeping me dry. And then I literally will, he's fussing already. I know it's been a little stretch of time since I've changed him, so I'll snap over, Velcro open the cover and feel his diaper, and sure enough it's soaked. So yeah, that's what we've been using for covers and inners and everything. And I know it's a lot, and especially if you're not familiar with cloth diapering, it might seem really overwhelming. In a lot of ways, I think people feel like less is more, and we live very minimally, and so I also would say that generally. But in cloth diapering, especially if you're doing pre-folds and flats, I think more is more. Buys you more time, more options, more flexibility. So don't be afraid to try out a lot of different styles and sizes, and see what works, because I think you'll find that almost everything works. It's just different circumstances. But I did want to go over this really quickly just so that you could get a glimpse if you're interested. So we talked about these two sizes fit him for a stretch, maybe like the first week or two, and then these are what he's in now. My toddler, this is the length that fits him, this is the large, but he's also a heavy wetter, and so we have layered in a medium tri-folded inside of his. And then the extra large size, when my older child, my toddler, grows into them, we'll do the same thing, I'm sure, is layer the large inside of the extra large, and then my newborn will be able to size up into the medium, with smalls or novices inside of them, I'm sure. But what we're doing right now is actually using the extra large just as a changing mat for both boys, just a layer to lay down and lay them on top of for diaper changes. So yeah, I hope that that's not too overwhelming, not too confusing. I do want to say, I forgot this when I was going through the first time, but I really liked the fitted diapers, and the pre-folds and flats for the umbilical cord healing time. That was really, really great, and I preferred those over the disposables, for that not rubbing against the cord stump, or if it did, it was really gentle, and so that was really great. I would have liked wool up against his belly more than the plastic, but because his cord stump, or actually his cord itself, was bleeding a little bit in the first period of time, I wasn't wanting to get the covers bloody, because I wasn't recovered enough to be getting up and hand washing the blood out of them, and so I did use the plastic covers, just folded down below the stump, or I just didn't use a cover. If you have questions, I'm actually really glad to answer, but I don't have comments turned on my videos, so you'll want to go to my blog, where you can definitely find more information, and you can also reach out to me on there.